Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Where Are They Now on Tuesday night, primetime, 7 p.m. Let me tell you, it's a special show tonight. Not only is my guest very special, but this is our 30th show, people. 30 shows we've already done. We are we're covering lots of ground. We are talking to, as you know, legendary South African artists, people in the music business, local and international. We ask them to share their stories, their musical journey with us, how they contributed, how they've continued to stay in the business, or maybe moved into another phase of their lives. Whatever it is, most importantly, we ask, where are they now? Because we want to hear all the crazy stories. Yes, we do. We want to hear about the incredible people they've met and the amazing experiences they've had. And only people in the music industry really get the full picture, because it's a different little industry, this. And the sense of humor is often like quite off the wall, but we love it. And we wouldn't want to do it any other way, because whatever it is, it rocks. And that's how it goes. Tonight's guest, wow, a true legend of our music community, a performing artist, a songwriter, a showman, a musical producer. He's loved by all his fans worldwide, and of course in South Africa. We adore him. Such a voice, such an artist, the one and only of his kind, Dennis East.
How are you, Cindy?
I'm fine, Dennis, darling. How are you?
Oh, lovely to see your face and hear your voice. It's
I
wonderful, man.
know. It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
This is a good place to be. Yeah,
I
here we are.
think so. You know, I've been so lucky to do this, to have gotten the show, because I'm getting to do what I want to do. It's like I'm a groupie, you know. I swear, I'm the one who's getting to interview all the people that I absolutely adore and have loved in this business. How are you feeling right now in your life? What's going on with you right now?
Well, I'm very grateful that I'm still in the business, Cindy. You know, it's been a long time, well over 50 years now. Dare I say it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yes, you dare say it.
Chronological fact. 50 years survived this business, and still incredibly glad to be in it. You know,
That's a
and
something. That is honestly something.
people that I have worked with and I still work with, it's just all good news.
Wow. Yeah, because this business is, as I said earlier, it's a bit different. You know, it's not your run of the mill. There are times when we just have nothing, and there's times when we have plenty. And going through what we've just gone through now with COVID, everybody's in a different space in their lives, and I think it's forced us to
Well, this
create
has been,
some new things.
I think this has been life changing. You know, as my good friend
Yes.
Bobby Angel, I believe, was on your show
Yes,
recently.
last week.
We've got a kind of an in joke that says, I arrived in town with nothing, and I've still got half left.
But ain't that the truth, baby?
That's it. But, you know, that's the wonderful part of our business. We can laugh at these things, you know.
Well, that's what we've always had. Sense of humor is one of the things that have kept a lot of us alive.
I think
Seriously.
that's one of our surviving factors that's kept
And
us on our feet.
definitely. I mean, to say that you've released more than 20, 30 albums, singles, that wouldn't be a lie.
You know, I have never counted, and I'm just very happy that they've come and gone. You know,
Sure.
a lot of guys, hell, I've released hundreds of albums. Now, I haven't released hundreds, probably more like 50 or 60
Yes.
different concepts, which
Yes.
is me good news, and it's been good.
The thing is that your legacy is there. No matter what. People say, oh, didn't you do that in 1900 and stuff? Yes, I did, and it still stands. It's still available somewhere. I am still on a record somewhere. And people
Yeah,
can't take that away from you. It's part of your history.
they never can, Cindy. They never can, as you
Yes,
well know. It's what
yes,
we've done is done, and we've done our best, and we've all had our bits of success. And
sure.
on the negative side, yes, we've been there, but you know what? Take the positives as they came.
I think it all begins differently for every single musician. How did it begin for you, Dennis? Were you a young boy when you had the calling? Did you see someone do it? Did you like it? How did it happen for you?
Just from about the time that I could hum a note, Cindy. At school, school was something that I was going to leave. You
Me
know,
too.
it was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And one day in Standard 9, I got up and I walked out the class and I said, I'm going to be a professional musician. And my headmaster said, you'll end up in the gutter, my boy. And I said, yes, well, maybe I'll put you there. Which wasn't too clever. But
Did you ever see him there, though?
not that I even looked. I was too busy
You see,
down
we
there.
don't look back, baby. Don't look back.
Don't look back. No, listen, I've had a wonderful time. And I mean, the opportunities have been amazing. There's been some really tough times which you
Yes,
think, why am I in the business? Tough
sure,
times when I've had hits throughout the world or songs covered by people, which is
sure.
what people in our business dream about. We dream about these
Absolutely.
things.
Even our lowest times are sometimes what kids now dream. Geez, I wish I'd had one song on the radio or on TV, you know. And
Yep. And then they look at
so,
you and say, you've had
yeah,
hundreds. The numbers don't matter. The fact that they've been
no.
there and they've been there to enjoy. I said, whatever you have, take that as your best chance. You know,
And it's like whatever your best single is, you're only as good as your next one. You know what I'm saying?
correct. Most
It's
correct.
like you just got to keep going and keep going. And people say, oh, well, you never had a song like Substitute again. So Substitute's still there. If you want to listen to it, there it is.
Who's going to get much bigger than that? Where do they raise the bar to?
Yeah, that is the thing.
Something
And
that big.
we can talk about bars. There
Yeah,
were a few.
didn't raise any.
um,
We didn't raise any. We visited a few.
that's what I'm saying. Um,
Yeah.
the Rising Suns. Does that
Yeah,
bring a bell?
it certainly does. I grew up in the same town as the guys in that band, and I always was highly envious of them. And I joined a band that called the Statesmen, who were sort of the second string of Peter Marisburg bands. The Rising Suns were the
Okay.
guys that had made it. And we all went,
Okay.
wow, look at them. And ironically, when I moved to Joburg in 74, I got the call to say, would you like to join us? You know,
Yeah.
Their singer had kind of retired, and I said, as a snake got hips, you can force me. So, so I went, and
Yeah.
with my late friend Eddie Boyle, we all knew. Life was
Eddie,
life
Eddie.
was never the same once I joined them and was with Edge. But these were people
Yeah.
that made up my life. A very
Yes.
important part of my life.
Well, sure, because in those days you became such friends and such partners with your bandmates. They were your team.
Oh yeah, they were the fun pack. They were the
Yes,
fun
the
pack.
fun pack.
Yeah, that was it.
So
But
you kind of went Statesman, Rising
Statesman
Suns.
which kind of developed into a band called Hunky Dory,
Mm,
which was some of the members that were drafted into Stingray.
okay.
Um, we God bless him, the late Neil McKellar was
Oh,
in Hunky Dory with me, and that was Eddie's brother-in-law at the time. But he
yes,
was just such a brilliant drummer. We always had the choice of really great players,
we
you know.
did. Hey,
And then that morphed into Hunky Dory going into Stingray, which, by the way, well, we can get to that, but the band never had a name
Yes.
at the time. And people might not be aware of it, but the fact that Clout had such a major breakthrough in
Yes.
78 throughout
Yes.
the world is why that record company signed Stingray.
I
thought, well,
remember that.
if one comes from there, maybe there's another one. And we were the lucky ones at the time.
You were.
You know,
You
we didn't have
definitely
a
were.
bigger substitute, but I mean, we kind of made our mark, and it was a great experience.
Well, for us even to see that, we never thought we had the monopoly on anything. We were just so also grateful and naive and very small-minded about everything. We never saw each other ourselves as some big stars. But when we saw another band from our country getting through, making it, we were so excited. You know?
Yeah.
It
Well, I
was
think
like, yeah, you know, they've gone through and they're doing all overseas and la la la. We were
But
so excited.
it's good that we live by those values, that we can be proud of what our fellow performers achieve. It was just so amazing when you guys just went on and on and on, and the record just carried on selling. I thought, when's it going to stop? You know,
Yeah.
and it didn't really.
It didn't. It didn't stop.
But-
You know, the lessons that we learn in this business, you know, you just mates and you're in the band together and you're doing things, and then there's a lot of business involved in the music business.
Well, that is the unfortunate side of the music business. The most unfortunate side is the business side.
Yes.
You know, needless to say, you know, there's so much that, you know, people say, well, it's, you know, do you make any money out of it? Oh, is it really a business, so to speak? Is it
Yes.
worth being involved in as a business? Anything's worth being involved in. I chose it as a career. I
Yes.
chose it as a means of earning a living, and I did. You know, how well
Yes,
you
you
did
did.
at times is the other story. You know,
Sure. But isn't
but,
life also up and down? Life is like that, Dennis.
yo, what a roller coaster ride! It's be a roller coaster, you know.
Absolutely.
And you know as well as I do, and I mean, I said to you a few minutes ago, 50 years in the business, from playing 6 nights a week to playing in those different bands. I mean, you know, that's a heck of a journey.
It's a heck of a journey, man. And it's such a legacy to leave. And you're not out of it yet. I'm just saying you've got a body of work and it sits there and it is something, you know. Can we
Yeah.
play one of those Stingray? It's not that song, and I love that song. We're going to play that song later. That song blew us all away. But this was a very special Stingray song because it was in the 20th Century Club. And that was like the best club at the time, and everybody was playing there. Remember that?
I remember you guys there. I remember just about everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody. Fantasy,
Correct.
Marley Kelly, even Bobby and Bobby Lowe and Avril Stockley and the
All the
girls
guys.
singing. You know, every name you could think of had played
That
at
was-
20th Century. It was like, it
that-
was
that-
the super club.
That was the gig to get in town. If you got in there, it was quite an achievement, you know.
Sure. Let's watch this video. I love seeing you guys. I love the hair, Dennis. It's
Yes,
like
that was
total hippie, man. Rock and roll, baby.
That's it.
I've been out on the road too long, trying to keep it all together, but the feeling's gone. I've been
Who was that
Uh,
bunch? Yeah.
that was a juicy bunch, man. Wow. Was that Alan Goldswain on
Long way.
keyboards there?
Yeah, there were two keyboard players.
I
It was
know.
Danny
It was
Ansel was there.
Danny and Alan.
Yeah, it was the late
And
Danny.
then Mike Pilot.
Mike Pilot on guitar, who are still very good friends. Both live in Cape Town now.
Yeah, Mike's great. I love him and Eileen.
Yeah.
And what
One-
about Sean? Sean's great.
Sean Wright, yeah, he was the one who lost his leg to a
His
great
leg.
white cat. Remember that?
Unbelievable story. That
Isn't
we.
it
Please talk about that for a moment, if you don't mind.
the weirdest thing? We went overseas to promote the first Stingray album. I was overseas with Eddie Boyle, and we arrived back the next morning from England, and I walked into the airport building, and there was what was the Rand Daily Mail at the time, sort of lying down in the news agent, and I thought, that's a familiar face on the front. It was
Yeah.
Sean lying on his side outside Abington Hospital, and that's the first I knew about it. And this
My God.
from a 1 meter great white had attacked him in Belito. He had taken the lifesavers place for the afternoon, lying there with his now wife. And Sean said, I'm going out to check the nets and see if everything's okay. And when he was out there, this shot took him, and his leg with it, you know.
Wow.
And remarkably, he still played after that. He
I
switched
know.
to the way of playing.
Switched
which was
legs.
better. And we did a
What a
second
phenomenal
album
thing. Yes.
in that condition.
That
Yeah.
was so legendary that everybody spoke about the heroicism of it. You
Yeah.
know?
Sean was the kind of guy who would survive a thing like that where a lot of people wouldn't. He just had the right mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. Mindset for sure.
I'll beat this. And he did.
And he sure did. I want to tell you that there are people watching us right now, Dennis. Dougie Ramage saying congratulations. Kelly DeCrama all the way from the USA. Hi, honey. Mark Vass.
Hi, guys. Good one on you.
Mark. Marion all the way from Germany. Gail
Yeah.
from Springs. Jenny Horton from Local. And we've got Serena Boyle,
Hello, Serena.
Eddie's wife, saying hello, Dens.
Yeah, we go back a million years, and she was
I
very much part of the band. Yeah.
Absolutely. Paul Anthony Davies, also Muso, Sharon Rudy,
Hi, guys, man. Good one. Good one.
Craig James, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, Dennis.
I thought you'd be sleeping by now, Craig. Thank you.
Craig, it is his time to sleep, and I'm letting him stay awake.
Thank you. Worth it.
So worth it.
Yeah.
So Stingray was like one of those iconic bands. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, baby, but you are one of the finest vocalists this country's ever seen, still are. That voice was just always, you couldn't touch it, man. You can't
Thank you.
touch this. Do, 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 do. Can't touch this.
Yeah.
Truly. And
Yeah, but that's. I was so grateful to have been given that kind of gift, and just a musical gift to work with the people I worked with. You know,
yes.
and when you're working with good people, it keeps you on your toes too. You know.
That's the thing. It always keeps you on your toes. You always give your best. You can't slack off. And it's a
No.
thing having a name for a good voice or a this or a that. You have to keep your reputation up there. You
Yeah,
know?
there's no flagging or
No.
taking for granted that you have it, and just go with it. You know.
You can't ever take it for granted. I think if I ever had, I would have lost my voice somehow, you know, because as much as I ever thought I was quite good stuff when I was a pop star in Germany and all that, I was quickly always banged down to earth very quickly. I didn't have a chance to really be an egotistic little brat. I didn't have an opportunity, damn it, you know?
Yeah. But those are the lessons. Those are the lessons learned. I mean, you achieved amazing things with Clark, but I mean, you, as far as I'm concerned, you always kept your head together. You know,
I tried.
I could we still talk to you? You know, a lot of
Oh,
people.
God, yes.
Yeah.
I definitely, and it's the things you learn, it's the same you. And funnily enough, haven't we bumped into some younger guys or somebody that didn't really do very well and they've acted like such asses? And you're
Oh,
like, excuse me? What's that?
yeah, yeah. You know, I always say to him, Sonny, karma's got a funny way of biting you on the arse later. You know what I mean?
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But you know what? We're in an industry full of wonderful people. You know, you
Yeah,
got the ones among them who you kind of forget about. But it's just
sure.
the business of characters, business of extreme talents, and
Yes.
you can live in awe of those people for the rest of your lives. You know, that's my feeling.
I totally agree with that. One of the things I absolutely used to love were those shows you did, those big shows with Bobby and all of the brilliant singers. Was it like Pump Up the Volume and Coca-Cola Pop Stars and all that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that with those particular shows like Pop Stars, it was
Mm,
finding new youngsters in this country, and it just kind of came to light how good the natural talent
talent.
that we have in this country. It was
Yeah,
amazing. The kids came out of nowhere,
yeah,
you know, and all they had to
sure,
do was step up to the block and show what they did, and they did.
absolutely. There's so many beautiful songs. I want to play some songs at least. Um, there, I want to talk. People are asking, "A Rose Has to Die," "Driving My Life Away," "A Million Drums," "Damn It, I Love You." People are asking me for these songs. Jules, if you can find any of those songs, I would be so grateful because it would be awesome to play some of those. Um, the Chilean Song Festival.
Yeah, it was an amazing thing, Cindy. You know what happened? The story behind that very quickly is that I was, someone let me know. Actually my pilot's wife, Arlene, at the time said, "Why haven't you entered the Chilean Song Festival?" A lot of people have, and I said, "Okay, we'll give it a shot." So Danny Uncle, who we work together a lot, and I said, "Look, let's have a shot at this thing. We'll write a song each. If we get through, I'll go and sing it. If your song gets through, if my song gets through, you come and you conduct the 36-piece orchestra in Chile," which we did.
Nice.
You know,
Wow.
so we went as a bunch of us, our families, and it was in March 1888, and it was such an experience playing to 25,000 people in an open air venue every night. And what was the biggest highlight for me ever was that the judge sitting right in front of me, I'm talking about maybe 5 meters away, if that, was George Martin, who
Oh,
was the
the
Beatles producer.
Beatles producer. Oh
He
my
was the
God.
judge, and I got to meet him,
Oh
just
my
before
Lord.
the finals. And he was the judge, and I thought, well, this is it. This is the end of me, you know. I think just let me get
Or
my
the
ticket back
beginning.
very quickly. But I ended up second in the world and met him, and what a wonderful, like a hero, absolute hero, you know.
And weren't you voted the best vocalist?
Yes, in South America by radio and TV viewers. It was amazing. It was a separate award that I
Wow.
a different day. They gave me a poncho and a silver platter. You know, it was,
Poncho and a silver platter
because
and a
maybe I thought,
bottle of tequila.
oh yeah, I know that was there all the time. You know, bottle of tequila on tap. No,
On tap.
the people were just so humble and so
Mm.
giving, And I mean, I was taken to this luncheon and it said in Spanish, "Oh, you voted the best vocalist in the contest." I mean, that was just a bonus, absolute bonus.
Isn't that phenomenal? That's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Cindy, you know yourself. You treasure these things because
Yes.
no matter what money people have got, you can't buy these kind of things.
Mm-mm.
They come to you and they go, you know. And I was just what an experience. Yeah.
This is all about the things that people don't even know about the music industry, and they think because of idols and America's Got Talent and all these things that you just want to be an overnight success and that's it. Bam. Life is like that. Wow. It's so not like that.
No, there's no such thing really as the fast track. You know, these guys that make it overnight, those guys, and they have to adjust to that or disappear very quickly.
And
You know?
most of them disappear. And
Yeah.
how many of them end up, and I always mention this, taking drugs, killing themselves because they can't handle it.
Well, it's
It's
all
not
too much.
easy. It's too
Yeah, it's all
much.
too much too soon. You go from nothing to something massive. How do you handle it? How do you take care of it?
It's very
Yeah.
hard. It's very hard. And
That's it.
not
I just
everybody
think,
has people around them to help them. Did you have people around you?
well, there are people around to help them take their money. You know,
That's
That-
that's
yeah.
that's for sure.
Sign here on the dotted
Oh, I
line.
had people. I definitely had people around me.
Yeah, queen of the
Um,
dotted line.
Indeed.
No. But the youngsters always say to me, I said, what do you want most? I said, I want to be well known and famous. I said, but there's a long road to being that. You know,
Mm,
you've got to prove many other things besides that.
mm.
You know, there's and certain things in our careers, as you well know, a lot of people I work with know, you cannot buy those experiences. You know,
No.
when I
And
was
they're
in
never
Chile,
the same. Yeah.
I worked alongside Laura Branigan and Mr. who were the main acts on stage that night. So you were in between them, you know,
Yes.
sort of dribbling at the mouth, sort of say, hello, you know.
I know.
It's one of those things. But hey, they were ordinary people. They were
That is
ordinary,
it.
nice people.
Yeah, good. We used to meet all these people as well. I'd be standing there, and Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits would walk up and say, "Hey, man, nice song." And we go, "Oh, hi, thank you. Thanks so much. Your songs are great too." And Thin Lizzy were there, and Supertramp, and Van Halen. And everybody just talks to each other. I was very cotton-mouthed when I first was there. I was like, you know, what do you do with it? And then you just realize that everybody just lives. They're just
Yeah.
doing it. This is their thing.
Yeah, and that always leaves you with a mouthful of cotton or marbles. You know, you
Absolutely.
those people stuff. You know,
Even a mouthful of bees.
Bees,
Bees.
yes. And they're probably thinking like that. They probably wonder where you come from. You know, what? And I'm speaking English actually. Yeah, it's whiskers. Yeah.
Gee whiskers. I haven't heard that for a
Well,
while.
that's a very polite way of saying something else. You know?
I know that, darling. We're being very polite.
Yes.
What about some of the guys and gals you worked with here in South Africa? Name some names. I mean, because I
Oh,
saw
you
you
know,
on stage with everybody.
well, you know, you
Everybody.
mentioned Bobby Lowe and I. We
Yeah.
mentioned Bobby earlier. We're great friends. Mark Pilot and I still remain great friends. You know, there's people like, you know, I was introduced in the early days when I moved to Joburg to the Stockley sisters, who
There you
sang on
go.
the first record when they were at school.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and
I
I got
interviewed Miriam a couple of weeks ago. She was amazing.
Superstar.
Yeah, superstar.
Her and Avril taught me a lot because I became a full-time symphony singer, and
Yes.
we were known as MAD. Miriam, Avril, and Dennis. MAD. And
But
they
you
used
were
to
mad.
can we book MAD for the day to do this backing vocal? And we sang on everybody's records, everyone. And meeting people like that,
Absolutely.
all you do is every day you learn. You learn.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
got Kevin Kruger, one of the best drummers for me in the world. You got Denny
Ever.
Lalloway. You
Oh,
got
Jethro Buto. Oh my God.
Jethro Buto. These are champions, man. These guys, you know, they form part of my life and always will.
Sure.
You know, and
Mark Kahn. Did you work
Mark
with Mark?
Kahn,
Oh,
all world class talents. Les Good, Mark Kahn,
Les Good. Yes.
Barry Kelly,
Johan
you know,
Lars.
Johan's in Cape Town now. He lives in Cape Town.
Yes.
Now, he's beyond talented. I'm
No, he's
afraid to-
ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's actually beyond genius status. I mean, he just when he looks at you and he just touches the keyboard and he's like done Tchaikovsky's Fifth in 2 seconds, you know, and you go, huh? Really?
Yeah, I
You
know.
know?
It's a leave now.
No, he's
Yeah.
he's ridiculous.
No, he is. But this, I mean, and then he works with Kim Kelly. Kim has
Cammy,
a
yeah.
local school down here, and she does amazingly well, and she's great, man. So
I
we're surrounded by such great talent in this country. There's never been a shortage.
No, there's never been an, even though this show, I'm talking mainly to the older artists, the people from the way backs. There's a lot of good new stuff coming out of this country too.
Oh,
Hey?
the songwriting and the standard of songwriting
Yes, yes,
is phenomenal. And some of the artists, I mean, like the Honor Carstens and Craig Hines
yeah,
and Jeremy Loops. Now I see Jeremy Loops once a week at a market, farmers market near where we live.
yes,
He's just an ordinary guy, but so talented, man.
yeah. I like his stuff a lot. It's definitely grown on me, and from where he was in the beginning to now, he's
Yeah,
like come
yeah.
a million miles.
I
And
admire Matthew Mole, Craig Lucas,
y-
they're all out
yes,
there flying the
there's a
flag.
lot of good people flying the flag. I'm hearing so much good music on a Sunday evening. I'm always driving home from a gig, and I put
Yes,
on the SA Top 20, on Jacaranda, just to
yes.
listen what's coming out. And even the Afrikaans stuff is good.
No, it's
There's some
phenomenal. And those guys
really
are writing
good
really
stuff.
brilliant songs.
Um,
Uh,
you as a songwriter, I mean, you've written for incredible people.
well,
Geez,
I've
Dennis.
been one of those fortunate people who've had those breaks and got the songs to the right people at the right time.
That
You
was
know,
the thing. John Farnham, who I've always thought very highly of, The
Cool.
Voice, and all that stuff that he's done. And you wrote a song for him called Trouble.
Yes, well, he was just a scary singer. I mean, I never dreamed I'd get near getting a song to him. And the one day I got a thing from Australia to say, John Farnham would like to record your song called A Town Called Trouble. Do you
Ah,
mind if this calls it trouble? I won't even repeat what I said, but I said
do
he
you
can call
mind?
it the freaking hell he likes. Just record it. And he
Just
did.
call it. Just call it anything.
2.5 million sales later, you know, and
That's
he's
that is a songwriter. That is the joy, hey.
oh, and that you live with that. As I say,
That's
it was
that's it.
the album just kept going, biggest selling album in rock history in Australia to this day. You know,
Whoa.
and,
Oh my
how
God.
wonderful people like Keith Lister at BMP organized a phone call between myself and John Farnham on his birthday. We were 3 months
Wow.
apart. It was on his 50th birthday concert in Melbourne. And he was like the guy across the road. How you, mate?
Yeah. Hey, you
Got a
mate,
couple
yeah.
of beer. I said, anytime.
Oh my Lord.
Wicked. But these,
Oh my Lord.
it's a wake up call. And these are kind of the privileges you have in this business. When those things happen, boy,
Yes.
you can say what you like. You can't buy them.
No. What about Glenn Campbell?
That was amazing. He was touring out here, and I was working in David Gresham's company at the time. And David played his manager one of my songs, and he said, "Give me that multi-track tape where I'd recorded my demo. I want to
Yes.
take it back to the States with me." And he recorded the song called
Wow.
"Nothing Hurts Like You Do." And I thought, what am I hearing? This is a guy that I feel like I'm a
Glenn
million.
Campbell.
Yeah. And he was a super guitar player, songwriter,
Yes.
singer. And
Oh, he was super.
world.
Top class.
No, it blew me away. One of the other highlights. So
That could do that. You're very, very blessed, but you've worked hard for it and you are talented enough for it. You've done
Cindy, I
it.
think
You've done your work.
you well known, but there's no shortcut in this
There's no
business.
shortcut whatsoever. I actually wrote a song called No Shortcut in Nashville with a guy.
Yes,
There's no shortcuts whatsoever. That's why these shows to me are like fly by night. I want to see who lasts out of those shows. I want to see who comes out of Idols and I can still hear their name 5 years later. You know, it's
yeah.
this business is just phew, it's insane. I want to
Plus,
see
you've got
who's
you've got to
talking to us.
take good care of your career when you in a position like that. Sit back and say, okay, how do I extend what I'm doing now?
That is it.
Where
To
do I go
take
now?
to
You know?
take where do I go from here? It's actually to take what you have and keep building on it. For me,
Absolutely.
songwriting right now, that's like gadunk. Complete
Well,
focus. Yes,
that's what
you
you
know,
and I are going to do pretty soon. We're going to write. We're going
we're
to write.
gonna write. We're gonna write together. I've been dying to write with you,
I
Dennis,
want you
my
to
whole
hear.
life.
No, because you know what? You never stop progressing.
No, you can't. I mean, I've been writing with this young girl, Alexandra May,
You told
and
me.
we've just, I just like these people come out of nowhere, and a song comes out of nowhere, and it could be something. You've got to always just keep going.
It's amazing. Something happened to me recently, and there's always something makes it a brighter day. My good friend
Yes,
Mike Porter, a sax player,
I know Mike very well.
he's
He's in America.
lived in America, in Chicago, probably
Yeah.
25 years now. And he gave me a call out the blue, and he said, "Look up my nephew. He lives in Muizenberg, where I live." And we
Uh-huh.
had coffee, Chris Ford and myself. This guy is a superstar, songwriter, singer. And I've
Whoa.
just recorded the one track with him, which we have not competed with yet. This guy is a serious talent.
Wow.
And when I heard him, he played me his song, and I said, "Sorry, what am I hearing?" He said, "I wrote that." And man, I tell you, and
Whoa.
it's just such a turn of events. Mark calling me and me getting hold of Chris, and he's just the most humble guy and super talent, super talent.
It's lovely to look out there and see what's working, what's not working, um, and just being part of something.
Yes,
Trevor Kerr. Hello, Trevor. Nice to see you. He's also in Cape Town, Trevor. Um, so, Vanilla Fudge.
Vanilla Fudge. I don't know if you know, Vanilla Fudge had a massive hit in America with "Ticket to Ride," and we
Yes,
keep hanging on. And their lead singer was a guy called Tim Bogut. Um,
yes.
they were all part of that Jeff Beck circle and stuff like that. And
That
one day,
vibe.
someone David Griffin got at me and said, "Guess who covered one of your songs? Tim Bogut." You know, song which Stingray recorded called "Devotion," and Tim
Wow.
Bogut recorded. And I met with him in the States some years later, and also was a lecturer at university and played gigs in the evening.
Yeah.
Everyday guy.
I
So
think most of them are just really, people expect them to be the high flyers. There are the high flyers that live that unreal life, the Mariah Careys and the 20 doves in my dressing room, please, and white gloves
yeah,
and all that shit. There are
I
those.
mean, I want green Smarties. Yeah,
You know that one, sure, I think it was, or one of the guys. Take out all the brown Smarties. I'm like, what the fuck? What you
yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
You
But
lucky you got Smarties, my boy.
you lucky you got Smarties. We were lucky if we got a sandwich. It was like what was it called? What was that movie? Damn it, with all the musos, the crazy musos.
How are you talking about a Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap, exactly.
Yeah.
I lost it for a minute, but
Listen, if
why
you got
doesn't
Tony in the
the
band, it
meat?
was fair.
Well, drummers were always blowing up. Yes,
Yes,
what was it? Combusting, and the square of meat, they should cut it so it's the right size for the bread. So that was it. Like you walk into the dressing room, you got a dead, wilted piece of lettuce hanging out of your bread, and you're so hungry you'll eat anything. It's like, who
that's it.
cares?
Yeah, share it with me.
Just
That's what
share
you
it with people. Um, I'd like to see that other Stingray video. Sadly, it's just a lyric video, but the song, that was one of the most spectacular songs that came out, and that was that big one that went overseas for you.
Well, it was fortunately our first single, and of course that guitar riff that
That
Mike came
riff.
up with was the
Yeah, da,
key.
da, da,
Yeah,
da, 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 da. I'll never
every young
forget it.
guitar player's dream. The first guitar you bought, you learned that.
Yeah,
One of,
and
yeah,
that's the truth. So
that
let's
enough.
hear that. Yeah, it's just
Enough.
awesome. Absolutely awesome. My mouth is still hanging open. That voice. Oh my God.
I get tired.
Everybody's
listening
just
to that.
saying here, I know what you mean. It's like, it's a lot of work in there. A lot of work went into that. Like, what a set of pipes,
Yeah.
Mark Vass. And that track got him into heavy metal. That's what he says. Vocal range
Yeah.
of note. There's only there's a few classic good singers, male singers in this country, and Dennis East is definitely that number one voice.
That was
Huh?
produced by my very good friend Julian Laxton.
Yes,
Jules,
Julian was
the
great, and
legend.
Julian was so good at that
Oh,
heavy
his
guitar
production,
shit.
all put this folk
Yeah.
together, did a great job then.
Yeah. I wonder what Jules is up to. I haven't. Is he playing?
He's still around.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we chat every now and then. It's not as much as we should, but he's still around.
I need to have him on the show.
Oh yes, that's a legend of note.
That's a legend
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Dennis, did you ever go into gospel or anything like that?
No.
Not.
No. You know, my very good friend Danny Antle owned a gospel label.
Yes.
And I was part of a number of projects, but insofar as a writer or an artist, I never really went into it. I co-wrote a couple of songs with Danny, but as a career for me now, I never went
Yes.
in that direction.
Yes. When things started changing in the music industry, say sort of late 90s maybe,
Yes.
what were you up to? What were you doing?
You know, I think I was probably busier than ever in those years because I kind of had turned to production, doing record production many years
Yes.
before that with different artists. You know, in the early 90s, I produced the likes of Creason and Little Sister and people like that. I did 2 albums with the girls, and it was great. It was such great fun, and I loved doing it and just being musically, you know, involved
With them. Yeah.
It was great fun, man. And then the people like Creason, the
Yes.
sax player called Andrew Young, who was here from the UK. He kind of played for the symphony orchestra in Durban, but was sort of a jazz come pop player at night. And I did an album with him for BMG, which we charted with one of the tracks on the album internationally called Soul People,
Yes.
which I wrote for him. But those were the early days of production. And then, of course, later on, BMG got me to produce Patricia Lewis.
Yes,
And
that's right.
various artists in their several bands like Amersham. And then EMI got me to produce about 6 albums with Dozy, which we also
Dozy.
went platinum on
Yes.
just about
I'm
everyone. Yeah.
Dozy
so
did very, very well.
the productions just took. Yeah, you know, those years I thought I must find maybe another foothold in the industry, and production
Yes.
was it. You know, in fact, I was more involved in that than anything, but focusing on a market which happened to be the Afrikaans market by default.
Yeah.
You know, I did
Yeah.
one album with Patricia, it was double platinum, then suddenly it was another one that included Afrikaans and English material, and so on. Dozy was the same. Dozy was Afrikaans and English. Although one of his biggest albums was an English album called Rock in the World, which was him
Yeah, and
doing
he did
old
all that
John
rock
Lennon.
stuff. Oh, it was great stuff.
Yeah,
I've
that
heard
was the
some of
biggest
those
album
songs
we
and I
had.
was like, wow. I was very impressed with that. Hearing him do that.
What a great rock.
It's a good bloke.
That's where his roots. His roots were, you know, was in rock.
Wow.
So I was kind of graced with having those artists sort of in my studio from month to month, and it
And
kind of
Kurt
went on from there,
Darren?
you know. And Kurt, I was one of the earliest people to produce and work with Kurt when he was about 16. Then he
Yeah.
went to Gallo Records. Then he did 2 albums with me, and of course, then he ended up with another company called Select Music, where he
Yes.
turned to Afrikaans music and sold millions.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
Kurt is a real gem. I promise you, he's just a cool human being, you know, and always takes the trouble just to say hi, remembers the
Yes.
family's names. That kind of guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's pretty good people, and he's one of them. So I worked with him. A guy called Marnie Jackson. We did
Marnie,
plenty of
yes, I
sales
met
with him.
Marnie recently. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very lucky to work with the majority of people. From
And
rock
still
to
now.
pop, you
So
Yeah.
what's actually happening right now? Firstly, how's the family? Is everybody well?
Yeah, we all sort of enjoying where we are in Cape Town. We're in Muizenberg, which is very quiet, and I think
Yes.
that's what we all like about it. And then I have another little business on the side, and there's no promo here, but I sell honey from the West Coast.
I
You know, and
know, I've heard about that.
around
Dennis
Cape
sells
Town.
honey.
Yeah, that's it, boy. And I tell you what, it's real.
Yeah.
It's the real deal. But
The
anyway,
real
I
deal.
really enjoy doing it. We get our stock from the West Coast, and we at
Yes.
market 3 times a week.
Yes.
And we just love the synergy, the people coming and finding out about how these creatures survive and all that stuff, and they buy our product.
And it's a funny thing. Well, that's what the show really is about. It's about talking about your past. It's about talking what you've done, but it's also about figuring where are you now? What are you doing now? Have you changed things in your life? And what have you changed them for? A friend of mine became a Reiki master. She was a singer and now she's a Reiki master. And
There
it's
you go.
like, yeah, it all fits in, whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. So
But you,
So-
you go where life takes you. I've been
That's
fortunate
it.
to remain like yourself in music
yes.
and do whatever else. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
As I said, you and I have been threatening for years to write songs together. That's my
That's
biggest,
it.
my biggest source of enjoyment now is putting writing songs.
Me too.
know,
I just
just-
love it.
So much fun, and I just get so much fulfillment out of it. That's what I want to do. So and now I haven't stopped, and where I am now is kind of where I want to be.
That's it.
And that's in this business, and having the same friends and having the same freedom musically to do what I've always had to do.
And now actually having, I think, more freedom in a way, because you're not held hostage by anything, a record company or a booking agency or anything. You are actually in probably the best space you've ever been, where you can do as you please.
Pretty much. But
That's
great.
lovely.
You kind of strive and you live to arrive at a place that is that.
Yes,
I'm,
of course.
I'm very fortunate the work still continues. I do live shows still.
Yes.
And
so
I
you
think
should.
Getting up on stage and screaming like a lunatic.
It's good. It gets all the demons out, baby.
Oh, they come flying out at a heavy rate. But
No, I think I'm also in that space now where I'm doing the show. I'm loving doing this. It's a different thing. I'm writing a lot. I'm
Yes.
singing when I want to,
correct.
and you do get to this place in your life where you go, you know what? I'm cool. I'm okay now. Health is most important. How's your health?
What my health is, I've been diabetic for about 18 years,
Yeah.
and I've not always taken the best care of myself, and I've got my wife is an incredible supporter of me and
Yes.
takes care of me daily, because otherwise, without that, I think I would have been a different human being. But
Sure.
I'm very grateful for what health. I've got to look after myself, and sometimes you kind of lose sight of what's important, and that is your health.
I think the health is vital. I've also known what it's like to be terribly ill, so that you
Well,
don't
you
know
know-
if you're going to make it.
Yeah, we know about your side, and you coming
Yeah.
out the other side of the storm.
And coming out the other side of any storm for anybody it's like a lot of people just say, oh, well, I've changed my life and this and that. I didn't so much as change my life. I appreciated my life more.
Yeah, I think your level of appreciation changes when things like that happen.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even when I've lost friends like my friend Danny Ankle, who was 10 years my
Yes.
junior, he was just an incredible human being. And even that in itself was a wake-up call of, hey, take
Of
a step back
course.
and
Of course.
be slowly, boy. You
I
know.
think every time somebody close to us does go, that it is a wake up. You know, we are constantly, I always call it on the tightrope. We are on a tightrope where we are trying to balance things. And when you're standing still and you've just got your pole and you're there, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of nice, you know? I like
Yes.
that feeling. I'm there.
Yeah.
I like that.
What it being, that's the steady side of it. You know, you can.
The steady, the
It's
steady,
so
the
easy
slow
for
and
the health to
steady.
take a dive, and then you're not that steady. But I'm grateful
Yeah,
for what I do. You know, I mean, it's up to me to take care of myself now. You know,
of
mostly.
course. But
And
also, you don't want to be so fast. I mean, I know about other people. I don't want to be fast. I like it a little slow. Yeah, I go fast now and then. I'm a bit of a petrol head. If you put me in a fast car, I'm deadly. I can't help myself. But otherwise, life is pretty chilled, you know.
yeah,
Here we go. A guy called. Let me grab this. This is important. This is important. Um, Serena. Still the best male vocalist, yes. Nathan Waywell, thanks for
I
being
remember
doing Pickled with us in Amersham.
that Nathan was the bass player. Also, great band, man. You know,
Okay, I've heard the band.
they
And
were fantastic. A wild bunch of guys, and they could do it. They played and they sang their own
they can
songs.
give it,
They were,
eh?
they were cool. Good
Suzanne
one, man.
Brenner. Suze. Hi,
Gee whiz.
Suzanne. Wow. We get some people coming out of the woodwork here. That is
No,
for sure. It's so divine.
good on you,
Serena, of
Suzanne.
course.
Suzanne, I remember long way back. I mean, we just go back hundreds of years. You know, people that were
Yes.
all part of our careers. You know,
Yes, Suzanne was a big part of our career. I
tell
think I
me
need to.
about.
I should interview Suzanne Brenner. That's a great idea. Suze, you're going to be on my show. What do you? What don't people know about you? What is there something that nobody knows about you, Dennis? About who you are, about something you do, something.
Yeah, I'm kind of pretty boring. I like my music. Not much that people have to know about. I like fishing.
Yes. Well,
If
there you
anyone,
go.
I'm looking for takers to take me out on the water.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
now that's one of the loves that Danny and Antle and I did, was going out once a year on his boat up into Mpumalanga somewhere and fishing for a week and just talking the biggest lot of zungle out on the boat and
I love it.
and having a great time. And we loved
Yes.
the sport, or whatever you wanted to call it, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm
It's,
I'm I'm kind of I'm kind of pretty boring in anything other than that. I just still love my music. There's not a
yeah.
day goes by where I'm doing something different musically.
I know what you mean.
You
And I
know, I'm
think
not
that's
doing something
spectacular.
different. I think if I went for a jog now, I think I'd make about half a K and they'd be calling the paramedics. So, but no, I'm not a fitness freak. I enjoy my family. I enjoy the
Yes.
friends I have in Cape Town. And yeah, one thing I do love is traveling, but it's become just difficult now. As we used to travel
It's
overseas
very, yes, it's hard.
through business, music business, and I miss
Yeah.
that. But that was great, and I'm very fortunate to have a good circle of friends.
Yes. And that's where we're sitting right now, that sitting in the stage of your life where everything's nicely balanced and some things come and excite us and some things are just chilled and it's okay. The mark you've made, Dennis, the mark you've made, because you have made a mark. I know you don't think about it, but people think about it.
Well, you know, I really appreciate all that people have, and I have to say it on your show because I mean I think it's a good opportunity. You know, I had a serious surgery take place 2 weeks ago. My
Yes.
right leg, which was the arteries and things, and it was not a good situation. One can lose a foot to a leg or a toe or something, and
Yes.
I just didn't have the means to have this operation done. And a friend of mine heard about it, and he got the word out, and in 3 days he raised enough for me to have this op through people in this industry, people that I'd forgotten about. They just all came to the party in 3 days, and I'm going to take this opportunity. If any of them is watching now, I'm going to thank you personally anyway. Thank you. You miracle workers, man. You know,
Well,
because I just
I
feel
think
myself getting nowhere with this thing, and suddenly my friend Vernon Happin, who you
I
know,
know Vernon.
he
Yes, I
got
do.
hold of me. Hey, listen, buds, order your procedure now. I said, how? He says, pick up the phone, call the doctor, the anaesthetist, get everything done. And I mean, that is a blessing of its own. For people to step forward like that and just take care of it. And I think we should all care more about each other than we do.
Indeed. But I have seen that when a brother or a sister in the music industry is going through hardship, that people do step up to the plate.
Well, and do they,
They
man? I
they
just,
do.
there's so many people I think for all the help I've been given over the months, you know. And I mean, those are the people that came to the party without even question. And
Yes.
one of them was the guy like Kurt Darren. He just said, no, I'll end the story. You know, and him and 2 pages of other people, to tell you. And
Well,
I
the
think I have
mark
to
you've
thank
made.
people publicly, like with yourself, you know. These are the platforms like you've got that we need, you know.
Well, I'm glad I could do this for I didn't do it for you. I did it for
Yeah,
me. Because I
listen,
love doing this show and I love speaking to you.
since just knowing each other and being friends and going back as many years as we do, you
Yeah.
know, that's the most important thing.
It is, it's pretty damn special.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
say once more, the mark you've made, Dennis
Thank you.
East, you
Yeah.
have left a lot of people with a lot of, firstly, great music, but also your goodness. You've
Thank
you've you've let people see your goodness and people believe it, and and that's why someone would come to your aid if they
Well,
could.
they certainly have, and I mean, they could. People have couldn't have done it better. They couldn't have done it better. You know, it's actually emotional, man. Wipes you out.
It's it's very emotional, and it's lovely to see that
Yeah.
because we don't have to hold back and hold on and try and be all, oh,
Yeah.
I'm fine, I'm cool with this. It's
Yeah.
not. It's very special.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here with you going
Well,
through this. It's brilliant.
you know, I'm just grateful to be part of something this special. You know, and that is the music business. You know,
The
we
music business.
you just forget about people throughout the years, and suddenly you think, I remember that guy. He was part of my career 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, 40 years ago. But when our people was, say to people, I've just celebrated 50 years in the business. I said, I can't believe you're still alive. I said, oh, you better believe it, boy.
You better
You know,
believe it. He's damn straight he's alive.
I'm a rock.
Dennis,
I'm a rock and
you
roller, man. You can't
you're a
put me
rock
down.
and roller. You can't keep us down, man.
That's
You
it.
got to hit us really hard to keep us down,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we still say, I'm coming back. Be careful, I'm
So
coming back.
I always tell people, if you're going to hit me and knock me down, make sure I don't get up.
Yeah, that's it. Just make sure I don't get up, otherwise you're in for trouble.
Yeah.
Dennis, we've kind of come to the end of our show. Well, I still would love to play 2 more songs.
Okay, great, Sins.
So
Listen,
there's one song and then there's a video.
You invited me onto your show. I know about your show.
Oh,
Wonderful what you're doing, man. You know,
thank you so much. But it's
absolutely
all,
brilliant.
as I said, it's like I'm just having the best fun getting to talk to people, getting these people online who's saying, hi, we love this, we love what you're doing, we appreciate it. Julian, having this platform, Discover TV, that I can do this. I'm as thrilled as anything. I'm
Yeah,
lucky. I'm doing what I love.
we need people like him, man. You know,
Oh,
fabulous.
we've got support, darling.
Thank you.
So before we say proper goodbye, let's play one song and then we'll say our goodbyes and then we'll play out with the video the song that he earned. This is it. Chilean, the Chilean song. Wow.
They say the meek shall inherit, and he who is first shall be last. And in the eyes of God, all men are the same. But the streetwise kid is growing up fast. There's 100 cops in the street below. They cut him down in the prime of his life. Why nobody ever wants to know? They say the meek shall inherit, and he who is first shall be last. The eyes of God, all men are the same. But the streetwise kid is growing up fast. Who's ever seen the good guy win? Who's ever heard of justice for all? The strong will survive. You got to duck and dive. The streetwise kids have seen it all. They say the meek shall inherit, and he who is first shall be last. And in the eyes of God, all men are the same. But the streetwise kid is growing up fast. They say the meek shall inherit, and he who is first shall be last. And in the eyes of God, all men are the same. But the streetwise kid is growing up fast.
Whoa. Did you write that one? Was that your
No,
song?
no,
Danny.
that's not my. That was a song written by Andre de Villiers.
Oh, Andre. Okay, Andre. Yes, yes.
What a
Great
brilliant
songwriter.
writer.
Brilliant
Everything.
songwriter. Andre's great. And were the Stockley girls all singing on that?
No, you know that ironically, that track was actually Andre recorded that backing in America.
Okay. And just
I've got
gave you
you.
the.
And
Okay.
he used Bill Champlin and the guys from Chicago to sing on it. So
Wow.
it was a
Quite a production.
I'd love to say it was me doing those high notes, but I'm afraid not.
Because I heard girls and I thought maybe it was
No,
the
those guys are
Stockleys.
and those singers who just sing higher than they need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Hello. Why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah. Please
It's like,
calm down a
what?
bit.
Yeah, just calm down, man.
Calm down a bit.
Dennis,
But-
it's been an absolute joy having you
Thank you.
on the show, my darling.
I can't begin to say thanks enough. You know, it's just wonderful that these kind of things happen. You know, we can
Well,
talk
I think it's
to people
important
and
that these kind of
discuss
things happen.
everything that we've done in the business. You know.
Well, you are never forgotten, my friend. Never.
Well, there's some songwriting going down.
There is songwriting going down. We're going to have to.
Or not.
Let's do it now. What are you doing now?
Give me the
I just, yeah, give me, we've got our phone numbers now. That's the good thing.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
So we can make a plan for next week sometime. I'd love that.
Yeah, we'll do something really nice together.
I know we will. It'll be
Looking
very,
forward.
very exciting for me to write a song with Dennis East. Wow.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being on the show, for watching, for everybody being part of this. Thank you.
And thanks
It
to those
is-
people that have basically, written in or noted in. Thanks,
Yes.
guys. Nice to hear from you, and just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. We're going to play out with another song. So stay on just to listen. And goodbye, everybody. Mwah.
Bye.
Do you remember how we harbor lights are shining. I remember how they used to shine for you and me. And in the park where roses grew, once you whispered I love you, there's nothing but a weeping willow tree. 'Cause a rose has to die every time you tell a lie. A promise once it's given must be true. Watch each rose bow its head when it knows our love is dead, and it's never gonna bloom again for you. Watch each rose bow its head when it knows our love is dead, and it's never gonna bloom again for you. 'Cause a rose has to die every time you tell a lie. A promise once it's given must be true.